not be held responsible for you holding your knees, crying, and rocking in a corner in a puddle of your own urine, or being beheaded by a group of children in a cornfield. In fact, if you come across a group of children in a cornfield, we promise to make fun of you as you run away screaming in terror. Listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to RAP Paranormal and Friends with your hosts,
Kim Purvis
and Allison Robinson. Make sure to check us out on our Facebook pages, RAP Paranormal and Friends and RAP Paranormal Busters, for up-to-date show information and events. Hey everyone, welcome to another night of RAP Paranormal and Friends. We have a special guest for you tonight, Paul Chong. He is a highly sought out professional development coach, keynote speaker, author. He's got a whole list of things in his arsenal here. And today we're going to be talking about his new book, The Afterlife, A Journey to Now You Know What Will Happen. So please welcome Stephen to the show. How are you?
Oh, very well, Alison, and thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, yes. I am glad we were finally able to get this working
It's
here.
only taken it 3 times.
It's only taken 3 times. And like I said, third time is a charm, right?
The planets are in alignment now. We're all good.
Yes, for sure. Now, for some of you that don't know, Stephen resides in Australia, so there's a little bit of a time difference for us. So we welcome him to being on because it's a completely different day for you.
Yeah, and an accent too. I hope the Aussie accent is not too broad.
Nope. It is perfectly okay. Now,
very good.
Now, let's kind of dive into your book here. The Afterlife, A Journey to. Now, how did you come about writing this book?
Oh, Alison, I've got to tell you the story, the background to it. I'm now in my mid-60s, and I've written books and all sorts of things, but I'd stopped. I'd said, that's enough, time's up. Start planting vegetables in the garden. All good. But what happened it's about 3.5 years ago now, as you do when you're over 60 and still think yourself bulletproof, I was up cleaning out the gutters. We're very remote here in North Queensland, so we have no near neighbours, surrounded by rainforest, and we live off rainwater tanks, so I have to clean the gutters out. Mm-hmm. And I'm about 15 feet, about 5 metres, 15 feet above ground, and the ladder slipped.
Oh, no.
And it's gone, the ladder's gone through all these louver windows that we have, and there's glass everywhere, and I'm in a crumpled heap on this ground outside.
Uh-huh.
And I couldn't feel anything below the neck. Oh. And I thought, Stephen, you are in a deal of poo-poo here. But it was a Saturday morning, and fortunately my wife happened to be here. Mm-hmm. And normally she's off doing things. So she heard me scream and was able to come to my rescue. And here I am. And I'd fractured my neck. Not that I knew that at the time.
Wow. Uh-huh.
But I'm thank the gods all is well now. But I've got to tell you the revelations that were consequential to book being written did not occur at that time. It was in the period. I'm on the couch in rehabilitation. I'm good for nothing. Feeding me through a straw.
Oh.
I can barely move. And I had in my head like the title, the Afterlife, A Journey to Pounding Away. And I knew what it was. And I knew it was like the universe saying, like, there's something for you here. I'm saying, no, leave me alone. I'm done. I'm finished. No. Sorry. Eventually I said, okay, whatever it is that you want to show me, I'm in. I choose in. But the afterlife, what do I know? I know nothing. I'm just a dude. And that choice sort of was the key that turned the key. So I then, when I was able, I sat to start the writing process. Now I'm very disciplined when I write. I set times and I turn off things that distract me. And Alison, I've got to tell you, it was. Now I had no storyboard, no character, nothing. But as soon as I sat, I saw the colours, heard the music, and heard the dialogue of this character that that was telling me these things. It was. I'm taking dictation. Really, that's how it was. I saw that all these beautiful colours and this music that was there, and I did my best to describe what I saw and experienced. And every time I sat, I never knew what was coming. I had no idea where I was being taken. But every time I sat, over 4 weeks, that's all it took.
Wow.
And I just wrote what I saw and heard. And that's how it transpired. It was truly an extraordinary journey. It was, and people have asked me, were you like you a medium? And I don't feel comfortable with that at all. It was just tuning in. It was it was a trust. I trusted that whether the words or the whatever it is what I was going to see and hear, and every time it was there. That's how the book transpired. Truly a great gift.
Yeah, I was going to ask you something, kind of similar to that, just because I've had other authors on who haven't had an experience where they, fell or were injured or anything like that, but they may have been at a rock bottom place in their life, but then they all of a sudden got this insight to write a book, and they just sat down and they just wrote everything out, but they don't know exactly where all of it perspired from.
Isn't that very interesting? My understanding is that these NDEs or spiritually awakening experience, whatever you want to call them, they do two things. First one is that they redirect you to a purpose. Like, Stephen, sorry, you can't retire, you can't plant vegetables. You've got a job to do. But that's a burden of choice. So I could have said, no, leave me alone, I'm done, I'm going to smell the roses. But the second thing it does, that type of experience does, is that it imbues you with let's call it superpowers. It gives you skills and abilities that you never knew you had. It's like the universe saying, okay, you're in now, you've chosen, you'll write or paint or whatever it is, and trust me, I'm going to give you things that you never knew you had. So you're connected into that, some kind of universal source, God, or whatever you want to call it, Godhead. But it's like that big well of of inspiration that you didn't know was there, Stephen. Sorry, but it is, and now you're tapping in. I'm certain what you're describing is exactly how it works.
Now, what are some other things that you saw during this time or that you experienced?
Oh, my goodness. Two separate things there. I'll give you and your listeners just a taste of a couple of the areas that I was. And remember, I was seeing through this character's eyes. So he's taking me on his journey. And just by way of background, this character whose name is Athar, he, in life, as a child, was abused under the auspices of the clergy. And later on in his life, he took his own life. So he was stuck in this this purgatory, this horrible place of shame and guilt. So he's released himself through forgiveness. He released himself into the heavenly realms. And one of the first places I was taken was this, I call it the healing arena. And to give you a description, imagine like the Roman Colosseum in its glory, the Greco-Roman architecture. And there's all of these beautiful souls filling this arena, multiple colours, robes, and they're all chanting this Om sound. So this Om sound is reverberating through this arena. And like I'm just observing this and going, oh, far out, and trying to write it. And in the middle of the arena were these repose lounge chairs. And into the arena walked these, decrepit souls that had been deformed and through illness or malady or something, and they were quite deformed. And they were each had a seraph, a guardian angel bringing them in. So they reclined. Each seraph placed this soul on the repose lounge, and this lounge kind of enfolded them. And then in walked this angelic being. I can still see him in my mind's eye, in beautiful, shimmering white and golden robes. And he held his hands up in the air and started to weave this magnetic ball, like a spinning, like a disco ball, if you will, and he's taking in the energy from the crowd, and he's weaving it into this ball. And out of this magnetic ball shone these laser lights into each of the souls on the lounge chairs. And he does this thing, and then he stops, and he folds the magic ball away and walks away. I thought, oh, cool. And then each of the souls who were before decrepit and deformed were totally renewed. Totally renewed. They were like in the prime of their being. And I've got this guide next to me, so I'm seeing through Athar's eyes, and I've got this guide next to me, and I go, this is extraordinary. What is this? And what I was told was that sins committed by others are not borne by the self in heaven. So if you bear the weight of burdens or sins, but they're caused by other people, you are relieved of those burdens. They're taken away from you. What you do to others is a different matter, but what someone else... So if I caused you some pain or a deformity of spirit, you are relieved of those burdens in the heavenly realms. Me, on the other hand... because I was a naughty boy, because I caused that to you, my sister soul, I have to bear the consequences of what I did to you. But you are relieved from those burdens, and that was the healing arena. That was just one of the areas
Okay.
that I was taken.
Okay. All right. Now, are these, like, is that part of the nether regions, or what's the nether regions? I can't remember exactly.
My goodness.
The book. I read the book, but we've tried to get you on 3 times. So.
Now, are you sure you want me to take you there? Right, not so bad. Again with a guardian soul. So I'm not on this Athari's not on his own. He's got a master guide. Mm-hmm. So we go through these this landscape that I can best describe as like a bushfire has gone through. Mm-hmm. The acrid smell and everything's burnt and charred, and it was kind of scary. Remember, I'm just dictating this as best I could as I could, mm-hmm. And we entered this huge portal, dark, forbidding portal, mm-hmm. And inside were these vortices, spinning vortices of power, mm-hmm. And inside each vortex were these souls that were trapped within, mm-hmm. And that some of them are trying to clamber out, and they're being pulled back by others in this. Yeah, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And around each vortex were these beautiful souls, like angels in waiting, mm-hmm. And like, again, I've turned to this guide and go, like, what is? It's horrible. It's a horrible place. What is this place? Mm-hmm. And what was described to me was, this is not God's judgment. This is not like hell. Mm-hmm. Souls are entrapped by their own choice. And think of the 7 deadly sins: lust, gluttony, wrath, mm-hmm. Envy. Those sins. So souls are entrapped by their own choice. Mm-hmm. And as soon as they are contrite, they repent, the beautiful angels in waiting take them out and take them off into where they meant to go. But what was explained was this is not God's wrath or God's judgment. That doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. It was that souls are entrapped by their own choice, and until they are able to be contrite enough, repent from this burden of choice, then the heavenly angels come and take them away. But I've got to tell you, yeah. in seeing that, if that doesn't turn you away from errant choice, I don't know what does.
yeah, right, yeah, exactly.
But I've got to tell you, Alison, there were so many other beautiful places that I was taken to. Uh-huh. That was quite vivid and very hard to describe. Right. But there were some other beautiful, beautiful places that we went to.
Oh wow! Yeah.
I'll tell you one more that comes to mind because it was so beautiful.
Yes.
I got taken into we approached this building. Don't think just like a regular house. This is Greco-Roman architecture, marble, alabaster, beautiful. Mm-hmm. And we entered the doorway, and as soon as I entered, even now it gives me tingles because I remember what I saw. And the love in this place was so profound. It was, so beautiful. And as soon as we entered, what I saw were these rooms, and there were these beautiful angels taking care of children, babes, fledglings, babes in arms. Mm-hmm. And what was described to me was every child, with no exceptions, is so beautifully nurtured by the Heavenly Father. So each child is, if they've left the earth realms early, so beautifully nurtured by the heavenly angels in this school, which is what I called it, no child left behind. Even if the bond between the parent and the child is not so well formed, the child is still beautifully nurtured by the heavenly angels.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a beautiful place to be, and to know that, God forbid, if one lost a child early, to know that that child was so beautifully nurtured in the heavenly realms would be a solace to the grief one would feel, to be sure.
Wow. And that is just, and you had all this while you were kind of a vegetable on a couch. Is that correct? In lamest terms, right?
Well, I couldn't go. I've got to tell you, I couldn't go very far.
Yeah.
So I did, and I walked into the office and started to type.
Yeah.
But so yes, that's how it
Oh.
all eventuated. Yeah, it's such a beautiful gift.
Yeah, it is, because even to be able to remember all this and then to type it all down is very kind of extraordinary too. I mean, I can't remember. I have to write everything down as if I have a dream, sometimes I'm like, okay, I need to write that down like right now, because otherwise I'm going to forget it. It's something of it seems of importance. But for you to be able to have all of this and be so detailed in it and then go and write a book about it it's pretty phenomenal.
Oh, extraordinary, Alison. And I've got to tell you that the key, for me, the key ingredient for that was trust. Mm-hmm. Because I knew I didn't know. I know nothing. but I knew where I was being taken, and I trusted implicitly that every time I sat, whatever was to unfold would be there, and I didn't judge it. I didn't sort of say, "Oh, that's not right. I can't write that." I didn't. I just wrote what I saw. So, Although here's the preface: the colours were so vivid. Don't think 7 colours of the rainbow. This is magnified 100 times.
Oh wow!
So I did my best to describe what I saw, and the music, the background of music, was so beautiful, and I have no musical talent at all. So, but I did my best to describe what I saw.
Oh wow! Now, what do you think this experience has done? What has it helped you with, or learn about yourself?
Oh my goodness, that's a very interesting question and very profound. I've got to tell you, when I the initial writing process, I gained all this knowledge. So I've learnt about the heavenly realms, which is kind of cool. And now, personally, I have no fear of the passing process, of the dying process. It's going to sound stupid, but it's almost one of anticipation. But it's not fear. That fear is taken away. So there is knowledge that I've gained through the process. Additional to that, about what is it now? 27th of April this year, I lost my beautiful mum. Now she was in her mid-80s, but she was a beautiful being, and I always, forever, for as long as I can remember, I always thought, when you go, I'm not hanging around. Life. No, I'm sorry. I'm going where you're going. You know what I mean? But after her passing, whilst one, and I speak personally, you feel grief, but the grief is totally empowering. Totally empowering, because I know where she's gone, like up into these higher realms. I know where to find her in the heart, and I know how to contact her.
Oh,
So, and it's like, it's not a debilitating grief, it's an empowering grief. And it's like, Stephen, get on with it. I'm here to help you. I'm more powerful than I ever was in life. So I'm here all the time. So that experience has become experiential. I now live it on a daily basis, which is, I've got to tell you how cool that is.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now, what do you plan on your readers take away from your book?
Oh, now that's a very interesting question. I've got to tell you what happened. About 3 months after I'd finished the book, the writing process is done, and I'm now in edit phase. So you read this thing 100 times, and you read it so much that you don't stop seeing things, if you know what I mean. But then in my head, there's this pounding away. It says, "Stephen, you've missed something." I go, "What?" Well, I've only read it 100 times, so I've read it again, and what I found embedded in the text were these laws of heaven and earth.
Oh yeah, yep.
And I found 15 of them, and laws that make life a better place. And like now, I live these; they've become part of my DNA. So to get back to your question. Readers of the book, if they find these laws of heaven and earth, and for them make their life a better place, to know about what happens when we pass to the next realm, but more important than that, make this life a better place. With the people we love, your kin, your family, your community, like what you guys do, the wider world, talk to the universe, whatever your purpose.
Right. Yep.
Find
Absolutely.
that special truth embedded in the writing, in the story, that helps you make life a better place. If readers have done that, hey, well, they're like, I'll take brandy points from that. I'll be all good.
Yeah. Now you mentioned that you have other books. What is that correct? Do you have other ones that you have written?
Yeah. I've written 5 books in apprenticeship.
Okay. Oh wow.
This is number 6.
Oh wow.
And I've got to tell you, Alison.
Yes.
I can only tell you a little bit because I only know a little bit.
But that's okay.
The messages kind of that I'm getting are that there's more to come.
Oh,
There's another, like a next, and I think it's my beautiful mother, angelic mother, saying, "I'm going to show you the higher realms, describe the higher levels of heaven." Problem is, I don't know when.
Yeah. Well, don't be falling off anything and having
No. Oh, look, if I ever got up on top of a ladder again, it would not be a near-death experience. It would be a death experience because my wife would kill me. She'd be a murderess.
Yeah. Now, so you have the books. What other books do you have out? Are they completely different topics?
Yes, the first 4 books were like I was a self-help writer, because that's been my DNA in my professional life. I teach people how to be better managers or better people or whatever. So I've always written through that realm. But the second last one, Bodies of Consequence, sort of was a novel, touched on the heavenly realms and the interrelationship between heaven and earth. But it was not. It was a story. It was not anywhere near as profound as this last one. The Afterlife, is just like all in heaven, the whole lot. So in their own way, they're different. But I call them an apprenticeship for this last one.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought I felt a sneeze coming on. Now, do you have any social media? If anybody wants to follow you, see what you're up to, see if you're up to any new books, or do you do any kind of events or anything where people can go listen to you as like a speaker or anything like that?
Yeah, Alison, that's in my DNA. People contact me and want me to do little speaking events or whatever. They just through the website, stephenchong.com.au. Just contact me and we can have a yarn and see what can be done. But if people are after the book, of course, it's on any good book depository, Amazon or Barnes and Noble or any of those platforms. But if people want to contact me, just do it through the website, and I'm happy to respond.
Okay, all right, perfect. All right. I'm just looking. Is there any questions in chat for Stephen tonight?
I haven't seen any yet.
Not any yet? Okay. I know Allie asked what the name of the book was, but I already told her that, so we're good on that. Any other, you said you have the one coming up, but anything else? Anything else that you have coming up besides another book, or?
No, I'm trying my best not to plant vegetables in the garden, Alison, because I get to talk to lovely people.
Yeah.
It's such a wonderful thing to talk to guys like you, because you're the ones that are spreading the message, and we're thankful for that.
Oh yeah, and we
and it's really enjoyable.
Yeah, we love.
And as I say, I do the. Yeah, it's. I think you're wonderful doing what you're doing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we love doing it, and it seems like within the last year, a lot of our guests have been authors. We've kind of, we do a lot of paranormal things. Have a lot of them, teams on and things like that. But it seems like within the last year or so, we've been doing a lot of things with authors and things like that, and it gives me a chance to broaden my horizons and sit down and make some time to read some books, because I haven't been able to do that for a long time. So,
there you. Yes,
Plus
there you go.
It's helping getting
it's a wonderful thing.
What was that, Kim?
It helps getting their book across too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it's an interesting thing, Alison. One of the things I've learnt from the writing of this book, because I wondered why this book was given to me in this story form, rather than sort of, as a lot of people who have these NDEs, they drift off and they're shown things in the heavenly realm and they come back to the body.
Right.
As I said before, that wasn't like that.
Right.
And the interesting thing about this book in the form that it was given, as I now understand, is because you can read a book literally and go, oh yeah, I like that. Yes, I like. No, I don't. Yes, it's true. No, it's not. But at another level, you can read it like is the allegories, the stories, the parables, and go, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. But a story like this it enables you to delve into a deeper level. You can delve into a third level, which is a metaphysical level, where you learn like universal laws, like the laws of heaven and earth. But what's really cool is when you read a book like this, is the next level you experience mystically. So it's where your inner truth, your own inner truth becomes revealed. Where you read it and go, oh man, I've got that. That is so true. That's your own truth. It's not the story. It's your own truth coming to the fore. And that, to me, is the magic of a book of this nature, that it helps individuals, the reader, experience their own inner truth.
Oh, yeah, very, yeah. I see that it does, and you can get a lot from reading some of these books too. You can get a lot of insight, which I have noticed lately with some of the authors and things. I'm like, oh, I can really relate with that, and sometimes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. You find it relatable, and so you're like, oh, okay, I'm not the only one who has this or feels this, or you know, you make a connection.
Well, again, isn't that really interesting? Because, you know, since my accident and the writing of this book, you know, I've done a lot of, like you do a lot of NDE research.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've discovered is, you know, an individual's experience is very profound.
Mm-hmm.
But, and from their point of view,
Mm-hmm.
it's subjective. They've experienced it, which is fantastic,
Mm-hmm.
not to be denied. But from our point of view, it's objective. It's happened to somebody else, and you go, yeah, okay, that's kind of cool. That's interesting. But like we're saying, when you read a book of this nature,
Mm-hmm.
you experience it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's your subjective experience, and you go, oh yeah, man, I got that. That's
Mm-hmm.
really cool. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And off you go and make life a better place.
Right. Exactly. And I hope everyone that reads the book has that same experience and feelings about it as I did when I read it. It was very insightful and very well written. So I just want to make sure that, you know, our listeners go check out his book. Go find it on Amazon. It's on Collective Ink Books, Barnes & Noble, wherever you can find a book. Google it. It'll come up. I promise you that. The Afterlife, A Journey To. And then I did also put a link if you guys want to check out our chat. There is a link in there for his website. So you guys can get that there. And obviously, we will share it on our social media as well, so you guys can check that out. Most of you know where to find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And once again, before we wrap things up, I'd just like to say thank you for everybody who is in chat, and thank you for everybody who's not in chat but listening. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Next week we have another author on, and he's got a book, Wayne Solomon, and his book is called The Journey Across Forever. So it's a magical, provocative odyssey across the ages around the world and into the great beyond. So everyone check that one out next week. And I'm so glad, Paul, that we Paul. I'm thinking of your middle because I said earlier, do you want me to put that in? Stephen. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that we finally got connected and we're able to have you on to discuss your book, The Afterlife, A Journey To. So, like I said, make sure to check that out on Amazon, Collective Ink Books, Barnes & Noble, wherever you may get your books. Go get it. Leave a review. And like I said, website is in the chat on Spreaker, so you guys can find it there or on our social media. And once again, thank you, Stephen, for being on. It was a pleasure to have you on, and hopefully we'll have you on again some other time.
Alison, thank you, and Kim too.
Yeah, she's hiding in there.
I think you both.
She's hiding.
Cheers to both of you. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Peace out, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us.
Cheers, mate.